Good day to everyone, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great week betting, and we are here to preview the weekend with myself, Steve Wyss, and Ashley Waite here on All Angle Sports Investing. Ashley, how are you doing today?
Well, anyone who's been watching my Twitter knows how I'm doing. I'm on the verge of becoming a drug addict. This crazy day from start to finish. Just glad that those bets are over. Most of them went my way. The Dortmund didn't. So, I don't even want to rehash all of those crazy betting day. But I profited, so it's fine. Excited about this weekend slate. Just ready to dive into these and talk about them.
Yeah, I was seeing that you were cashing in a winner at half time in the Icelandic game, and it nearly came back to bite you in the ass, didn't it? But you were given. I mean, it was entertainment. They're the best way to win. A last-minute winner, 96th minute. It's an exhilarating feeling, isn't it? So that is a really good. No.
I mean, I'm going to disagree with you. It's like when Alabama plays someone. I want to destroy them. It'd be up 45-0 at halftime. Like it does make for, once it's over, it's exciting. But I had a bet that started out exciting today, and then Dortmund was driving me crazy. That was going to be a 4-unit swing for me. And so my beginning, middle, and ending bet were all absolutely insane. So, at that point, no, I didn't need that exhilaration. They're up 3-1. Iceland's crazy for goals, so by no means did I think that it was a slam dunk. It was entertaining, but trust me, no. Just stay up 3-1, 5-1, win, give me my money and move along. I'd rather have that than excitement. I don't need any more excitement. And just in case anyone's wondering what this is on my face, this is Life with Mako. He decides he's just fucking insane. We love him to death, but his hormones are, he's just growing so fast, and his hormones, I guess, can't keep up. I don't know, but he runs at me full speed, and he just doesn't stop until he slams into me. So his tooth drug across my face. In case anyone's wondering, I didn't slam my face into a mirror or something with all of these insane matches today, but I was tempted to, but I didn't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, if you've got a bet won by half time, you just chalk it off. You're not punching the air in delight too much. A last minute winner, it can almost be like relief or exuberance, sheer excitement. But the Dortmund thing. I mean, I know there was a lot of comments about the Dortmund. Apparently, they should have been given a penalty, which wasn't given. Again, probably VAR not doing its job. I've not seen the game, so that sounded very unlucky for you. But you got to move, haven't you? We moved to the weekend. Hello, Hannah, by the way. Hello, she said, and Hudson, welcome in. I think first time I've seen Hudson comment on these streams. Maybe I'm mistaken there, but welcome in. And welcome to everyone who's watching.
On Dortmund and over 2.5. It's kind of like, so Hudson, I had that match was a 4-unit swing for me today. So we ended up winning 2 units, but it actually should have been 6 units. Had Dortmund just to win to close out a nice double. And then had Dortmund score in the first half, and then just team total over 1.5. So I had a unit on each of those. When Bochum went up early, I kind of was like, here we go. But, and Dortmund equalized just a few minutes later. So I thought, okay, they'll settle in, and they have like 85 minutes to get another goal. And wow. So, I feel for you, Hudson. I think that's one where it's always kind of sounds stupid to say, you're on the right side whenever it loses, but sometimes you are. Sometimes you're on the wrong side and you get lucky and you win. And that's the case of where, should there have been a penalty? I don't know. Of people that I trust said it should have been. So I would venture to say yes, but I didn't watch it. I was just watching the live metrics. I don't think I can stomach going back to watch it. It's just one of those things. You show me those metrics all day long, 20 something shots, like 11, 12 corners, the possession battle. The situational aspect is what I loved about it as much, if not more than any part of it. They are in a true battle there to lock down the top of that league versus Bayern. Bayern is struggling right now. So who better to go play than Bochum, right? To try to win that title for the first time in 75 centuries, and they can't get it done.
So, I think they've probably handed a trophy to Thomas Tuchel, your favorite man.
That boring
there
ass
with that
guy.
result tonight. Ben says, have a ready for a great weekend. Absolutely, mate. We've got some picks heading your way now. We're going to start off with a couple from you, actually, in the A-League. Actually, sad news, actually. Very sad news. It's the last round of the mainstream season in A-League. There will be playoffs and stuff. But, sad stuff. But cash in now while you still can. Got a double. We're going to start with a double here. Sydney FC against Newcastle Jets, in addition to a match in Norway on tomorrow as well. And the pick is this: over 2 goals in the A-League game, in addition to Bodo Glimt team total over 1.5. So let's start with this A-League match, and then you can switch to Bodo Glimt.
Yeah, I'm going to have a play on a couple of A-League matches that are tonight. They're tonight for me, probably early morning for most of you guys. I'm out here in Hawaii, but yeah. So with Sydney, they're playing Newcastle. I could see both teams scoring here. Here we go again. We're getting a really good price here. I think we see over 2.5 goals here, but I think Sydney can put up 2 on their own, but at this price, I just say, why mess with it? I like over 2.5, so I'm going to stick with 2. And this is just pretty straightforward. Sydney is at home; they're a very, very good team. This is coming down to like you said, unfortunately, the sad part of wrapping up this A-League season. So, I think both teams are going to go for it here. Don't see. Can it fall under 2? Of course, we see today anything can happen. But I think we get 2 goals here. So at least I think.
Yeah, and I must add, this is a double. Of course, I forgot to put it on the screen. This is a double. Yeah. Over 2 goals in that A-League game, in addition to Bodo Glimt's team total over 1.5 goals. Bodo Glimt against Brann on the one match on Saturday in Eliteserien. I will do a video preview for it for all angles on the YouTube channel, probably in the morning in the UK. But I mean, you certainly, like them to score goals. They've been scoring a lot of goals to start the season.
Yeah, you are the Norway aficionado, right? That's your field of expertise. It's just a handful of teams that that are just consistent for me in certain leagues, and Bodo being the one in Norway. So they're up against a bronze side here. I'm not going to even delve into the statistics of it. Brann, they're a very good side. Anyone who follows Norway knows that. But Bodo is just my go-to team. We're getting their team total, not at a good price as a single, but at a very good price to get us to -110 here. And what I think are 2, I think each leg here has a really good chance of landing. So Brann's a very good team. Bodo's at home, crazy crowd, just a really good team that solidly performs for me. So, just to get them to score twice, I think they'll win the match. But whether they do or don't doesn't matter to me, as long as they score twice. So, I love this one at -110, and I will go back and look and can mention it on the next show. But I don't think many Aussie picks have lost for us on here. No. Maybe a random goal score or something, but they're typically pretty solid. And Bodo's always solid for me, like I've said 100 times. So, I love this play. I've already locked it in myself.
Yeah, I'm actually going to follow the A-League next season myself. I've seen several tipsters posting winners every week from this league. It seems a really reliable league this year for goals, for scorers, for entertainment. I've watched a few games on TV, actually. And this league definitely interests me when it restarts in probably October, something like that.
I don't keep up with that shit. I just know when it's coming up, and then I just start throwing money at it. I don't know when seasons start and end. I don't know any of that stuff.
Appreciate you, Hudson, with those words there. Thank you very much indeed. Very much appreciate you there.
Yes.
We're going to move to a pick of mine now. We'll do your A-League pick after this one, but we're going to do to a Swedish match. It's a good old favorite again on this show. I think you must think I just literally picked their game so I can pronounce them every week. But Halmstad against Bromma-Poikina.
I'm absolutely convinced of it. There's no doubt. You've got me say it every time I hear it now. So go ahead.
The pick is Halmstad team total over 1.5 goals, -125. Now, I don't actually like this pick from a gut feeling point of view, but you can't get away from it in terms of metrics. Bromma Poikin away from home are a disaster. They've conceded 8 goals in 2 away games. I've watched them both, and they're a disgrace defensively away. Now, they do look a lot better at home. I must add, they won last week against Mjällby 2-0 at home. I will not be betting against Bromma Poikin at home very often, but away from home, I'm more than happy to take them on. Halmstad have won both their home games 2-1 and 2-0 against IE and Djurgården, who are 2 big Stockholm teams, far better than Bromma Poikin. So if they can score 2 goals in against those teams, they really should be able to get 2 against this outfit. This was a second division match last season. Halmstad won it 2-0. I don't like Halmstad as a team. Their manager is historically quite negative, but every match has contained at least 2 goals for Halmstad this year, which has surprised me. So I don't know whether he's turned over a new leaf. So gut feeling, my natural gut feeling, based on the football that I know, the knowledge of football I have, is that they're the sort of team that should be like 0-0s and 1-0s, but you sometimes can't go away from the stats and the metrics, right?
Which is funny because I'm usually the hardcore metrics person, which is why I love live betting. Yeah. So anyone who joins my VIP service, don't do it if you don't like high volume live betting, right? But yeah, I don't know. I know nothing about this team. I know that haven't you gotten everything right against what that you?
Yeah, they're certainly well good betting against.
Poikin are involved.
Yeah, it's kind of like a plan of mine to bet against them when they're away from home, either money line against them or goals against them, and the defense is so poor away that can't get away from it. So, yeah, -125. I'll take that all day long, really.
And the thing is, I like to tell people you go with metrics because that's what I do. You take some other like situations like today with Dortmund, situational betting into account, but metrics, the law of averages are not going to change, though things might swing for you and against you, but they're eventually going to come back to the mean. So we don't have huge losing days. Because of that, I stick with the statistics here. You might have losing days, but none that's going to make you want to vomit, right? I'm all about statistics. I just think it's funny when you preface a pick with saying, I don't like this pick. I bet that's always interesting for people to hear a capper say, you don't like it? So I'm definitely tailing it now.
Yeah, my gut feeling from my footballing knowledge is this mostly Halmstad, because I've always perceived them as quite a defensive team. But I do wonder if things have changed. Now they've learned a lesson now. They've come back into the league. Bromma Poikin can't defend, so I'm happy to go with it. We're going to move back to Australia now. MacArthur FC against Wellington Phoenix. It's a big game, this one, for the Knicks. I think someone called them on the commentary last week. I was watching their game. The Knicks. Now, the pick is unsurprising one. We've had him before on the show quite a few times. He usually cashes for you anyway. Oscar Zawada, big target man striker. He's an absolute menace. Anytime scorer at +130 and first goal scorer as well for a little nibble at +500 here. Actually, big game for them. They need a point to get in the playoffs, and there's certainly everything at stake for Wellington Phoenix.
Right, and then they need a point. I wouldn't be surprised if they get all 3 here. So, do I expect them to score multiple goals? I do. So I love Oscar Zawada. Polish guy, isn't he? Yeah, just like you said, a menace. I mean, he imposes himself up front, and so I think he'll score here. Why we're still getting him at plus money? Who cares? You just bet it and don't question it. And the first goal scorer at +500, that's never anything to go crazy on, because especially in Australia, there's so many people and he's not just the person to score the first goal for them. It's on the whole pitch, and there are people on the other team who can score. So I just think it's worth the sprinkle, though. Sometimes he has a knack for finding that first goal. So at +500 for a small sprinkle, but the main play obviously is him just to score anytime at +130.
Excuse me. I Had a bit of indigestion there for a moment. Right.
You must have muted it because I didn't hear anything.
My goodness me. Yes. Right. I'm going to move back to. I mean, Zavada. Yeah, I've watched him play, and he's just a nightmare for this sort of league. Target man forward, like I say, physical lad. He's done really well. I think 14 league goals in not a great team. It must be said that he's not. And they're not bad, are they? But they're not brilliant either. Wellington. So he's done well to score that many. It's not like Jamie McLaren, who's clearly the best team in the nation. So
not so clearly. Yeah. Now, I mean, I don't take them to win. I did take him to score, and thankfully he did score a late one because our Jason Cummings has been letting me down lately, and Craig Goodwin also. But I think Melbourne City are extremely vulnerable this season. I think Central Coast could give them fits. Wellington could give them fits. I'm not as impressed with them as I usually am. I didn't even take them to win today. Just took McLaren to score.
All right. So next pick is going to be another double from me this time. We're going back into Norway here. We are doing this one here. It's Molde against Stabæk in the Eliteserien and Ranheim against a team called Skeid in Obos. I'm not actually sure if that is the correct pronunciation, even for me, of Skeid. It might be Skeid. I'm not sure. But it's Ranheim against Skeid, we'll call it. Ranheim last week was annoying, wasn't it? Took them big money to win and over 2.5 goals. Sorry, not big money, big odds. I think it was like plus 333. They won the game, but only 1-0. So that was really, 2-0 would have been worse. But they've won the first 3 games. They're doing really well. They're against a team that didn't do well last year, just survived by the skin of their teeth. And Skeid have lost 2 of the first 3. They concede quite a few goals. I think Ranheim, you can back them about minus 200. Minus 200 just to win on the nose. Money line, it's not too bad. But we'll add Molde into the mixer here. Molde against Stabæk. The defending champions have got to win this one. They haven't won any of the first 3. If they can't beat a newly promoted side at home, there's something's going wrong. So, Molde themselves are a short price to win. Thought we'd combine these two for a plus money double at plus 118. Just fairly straightforward here. 2 sides of significant quality within their respective leagues. Molde are not quite firing yet, but they've had a whole week to prepare for this game, where everyone's telling them how poor they are, how they need to improve. Stabæk actually played in a cup midweek, lost against Brann. It's tough, isn't it, if you're a newly promoted team to play 3 games in 7 days? I really think it is. And they're just not as good. Molde also wants some revenge from getting knocked out by Stabæk in the cup of last month. They should win. So I just need 2 wins from them. I think both teams should win fairly comfortably. Ranheim is the slightly more dangerous pick. But, this looks... I do like a plus money double, Ashley. I mean, it's kind of my... If I'm doing a double, it's my signature to make it plus money.
Yeah.
I think if your signature is more like a sort of a minus 105 double, I know your type. Mine, I do like a little bit more.
My signature is the double that fucking wins. That's all I care about. I do a lot of plus. Yeah, I do a lot of plus money doubles, a lot of plus money singles, like on my Patreon. The number of plus money plays. So I see a lot of these people on Twitter that are giving out minus 180, minus 190 money lines, and they're making so much money. It's like there's no capping involved in that. So it's good to get plus money, but if you get me around, even minus 120 and I love the plays, I'll take it because the juice don't matter unless you lose anyway.
All right, we're going to talk now a bit of EPL.
Skeid sounds like Scheid. Interesting. DM Punk. I trust him. He seems like a knowledgeable fella.
Scheid.
Can I just call him Skeid though? Because I'm on medication. I'll never remember. I don't
actually know. It's one I need to ask someone about this pronunciation because I'm good with pretty much most of them up there. But I'd be surprised if it comes across as Skeid. It'll be something like Sheed or Scheid could well be the one.
It really doesn't matter for me to remember it because I don't see me picking them in the future. So, yeah, you guys can figure it out.
Well, I think you might be involved in their games.
Why was last season? Weren't they the newly promoted ones that were giving people
They'll
fits?
be conceding a lot of goals. They will.
Okay, well then maybe I'll have to look it up.
Rosetta Stone. Hope they deliver. Let's hope they deliver here. Yeah, we're going to talk a bit of EPL now. And we'll talk a bit about Newcastle in a minute. But I'm going to do a pick for mine, which won last week on the show. Bournemouth against Leeds. And my own team last week, I mean, the over cashed last week. We actually played. Probably didn't deserve to win the over Fulham Leeds last week, but it won nevertheless. I don't know how Leeds Leicester didn't go over in midweek. And I think if the early goal had been allowed by VAR, it could have gone pretty ugly for Leeds, to be honest, because it's just not happening for my own team right now. Very much lacking confidence, but Leeds have to give it everything here, because the next two games for Leeds are against Manchester City and Newcastle, which is going to be no points at all. So this is an absolute must-win game for Leeds. And there's a bit of history between these two teams. It goes back from the 90s to do with Leeds fans basically tearing apart the town of Bournemouth when they obtained a favourable result years and years ago. So there's a bit of needle here. I think Bournemouth will be up for it. They've just had a good win against Southampton. They're not a team I rate, Bournemouth. I think I can't believe they're actually going to survive. I think they're terrible. That just shows you how terrible the standard is at the bottom end of the Premier League. Like for Bournemouth to pretty much be safe now, I mean, they are not a good team. Actually, I'm always happy to bet against them. To be honest, I don't think
they're not a good team. But for me, I look for different angles where it doesn't really matter if the team's good or not. What I do like about Bournemouth, I do think they're good enough to contribute to your total here.
Certainly they are, yeah.
Yeah, and with Leeds' current state of their defense, but with Bournemouth, I'm liking taking Dominic Solanke shots. He's good to take, say, like over 1.5 shots with 1+ on target, things like that. Sprinkling a little bit on him as a goal scorer. He's kind of finding his form and getting his confidence finally. Seeing that he can play in the EPL. He's nothing like Holland or anything like that, but how many people are? So, I think Bournemouth are good enough to score here, which, you better hope so if you're needing 3 goals. I may actually probably look at taking Solanke in a shots capacity, as well as Sinistera, but you said he limped off last time, right?
He's ruled out for the rest of the season, unfortunately.
See, right when he's like, I used to love betting on that guy, and it took him a while to adjust to the EPL, and he's just getting on fire, and he gets hurt again. So, that sucks for the fans and sucks for him, too.
Yeah, there's the reverse fixture ended 4-3 win for Leeds. Solanke did score in that game. Bournemouth blew a 3-1 lead, and they lost. I wish, as a fan, Leeds had lost that game now, because they would have sacked Jesse Marsch if they had lost that game. We would have been heading into the World Cup break searching for a manager, and we would have ended up probably with a better manager situation than we've got now. So, looking back, it was a win which wasn't a good win for us.
Yeah,
really. But it just shows, I think both teams will play attacking football here. And the Leeds defense is so bad, anyone would fancy scoring against it. Again, over 2.5. I'm not overcomplicating this and looking for a higher goal line. -123 will do me just fine.
Oh, yeah.
So Bournemouth Leeds over 2.5 goals. Cashed on the show last week for the Leeds game. Somehow didn't cash in midweek, but I think it will come in this time. Right, now we are going to talk. Both of us got 2 doubles here. We'll start with your one. Both involve the Newcastle game. Newcastle against Southampton. Now, you are doing Newcastle versus Southampton and Inter Milan against Lazio. This is a really interesting double you've got. So it's Newcastle money line on the nose. And in addition to Federico Dimarco to have 1 or more shots. Yes. Obviously, Opta data will define if he's had a shot or not. That is a double at -105, and the bookie, we are advising this at is Bet365. You will get an early payout on Newcastle on this part of the bet if they go 2 goals up any time in the game. So take us through it.
Well, with Newcastle, I think it's funny because it's the EPL is a team that I tend to stay away from unless it's goal scorers, and sometimes I'll play totals, but I really tend to stay away from sides. So what am I going to do here? I'm just going to straight up take a side. Just going to go with a team that's in hot form. I think they see realistically a chance to claim a European spot, right? And I think they just seem to be a team on a mission right now. And a lot of these teams and these players, you can handicap the numbers all you want to, but you can never really figure out with certain teams how much they care about this match coming up, right? Like you have a team that should win and they end up drawing or sometimes even losing because you can just tell from the first whistle that they don't really care. I don't think we have to worry about that with Newcastle. So is it a guarantee that they win? No, but is it a guarantee that they're a better team and that they are going to go out and play hard? I think it's as much as of a guarantee as you can get, and that right there is half the battle. So yeah, them being the superior team, and I think they'll give it all that they have to try to make another statement here. I'll definitely take. It's a little steep to take by itself on the money line. So yeah, I'm going to combine this with a kind of an obscure bet here. This is a guy that on Patreon we actually took their last match. And if I'm not mistaken, he was the only one to score for Inter in that. Usually, you know, people are going for Lukaku or Lautaro Martinez and Di Maria. But this Federico Dimarco, he is not, you know, one of their forwards. So he just has a knack for shooting. And what I really like about this is it can be a shitty shot. It really doesn't matter. We just need one attempt from him. It does not have to be on target. It has hit in ridiculous, something like 20 of the last 21 or 21 of the last 22 across all competitions. Obviously, with the caveat of, you know, make sure that voids if he's not starting, and as I always say. But if he does, I mean, 20 out of the last 21, we took him at a really good price in their last match. I think it was like minus 120, but the books caught on to that super fast. So really short odds here, so have to combine it with something. But he had 2 shots in the last one, actually even scored a goal. I just think that he, you know, they're playing Lazio here, and a team that they should get opportunities against. But like I said, it doesn't matter if it's even on target. So just to get the guy to shoot it once, and he's done that 20 of the last 21. Yeah, I mean, of course, he's just that is the type of consistency that you want to find in a bet, and that's what you have with this guy right now.
Yeah, Newcastle money line in addition to Federico Dimarco, 1+ shot. That is at Bet365 for a minus 105 price, and yeah, it's I can't argue with that, to be honest. Those 20 out of 21,
20, anyway, yeah, or 21 or 22. It's something crazy like that. Yeah, we're getting a full-on lesson here by DM. I like that. Okay, so the K, it gets a sh sound. So shy. Okay, we'll get
this
there.
This is a real lesson, isn't it?
It is. I appreciate it, though. I like the random stuff like that. Appreciate you. I'm just going to call you Punk from now on because that's a little more fun.
So that's your double involving Newcastle. My double involving Newcastle is... Right, I'm trying to find the actual thing here. That's the pick there. Rennes and Newcastle team total over 1.5 goals. So Newcastle against Southampton and Rennes against Angers. And that's the ticker below there. And basically, this is an absolute banker for 2 home wins, really, in my opinion. Newcastle, I think, will absolutely thrash Southampton. Southampton are down for me now. You know, one thing I'll say here, you know, why have I gone for the team total rather than money line? A lot of people got messed up, didn't they? Arsenal, Southampton last week. I don't see that happening now. I think that was more to do with Arsenal's nerves. Southampton, I think, are gone. Like I said, it should be an absolute mauling, really. You've mentioned enough about that game. We'll switch to the French one. Rennes against Angers. Angers only have 14 points this season. And Rennes are in this battle to finish in the European places, 5th place they're after in France. Angers have lost 24 out of 32 games. They conceded 68 goals. You know, they average. I mean, that's an average of 2 goals against per match, which is absolutely ridiculous. To be honest with you, Rennes have been a bit up and down of late. I've got to be honest, but the last time they played at home, they thrashed Reims 3-0, and Reims are a far better side than Angers. Mm-hmm. It should be, but there's no reason why both of these teams can't score at least 2 goals each, and if they do, a double here will hit a plus 107 for me.
So just to clarify, because looking at it on the screen, that's not Rennes money line and the Newcastle team total. Is that both teams team total over 1.5?
It is, yeah, both teams team total.
Okay. Yeah.
Rennes to score at least 2 goals and Newcastle United to score at least 2 goals. That's all I need from both teams. So Ben here is asking a couple of questions here. One question. Do you think Angers can keep from having the worst ever points total in Ligue 1? I can't remember what the record is. I think the record's like 17 or 18. And I'm not sure because they've got Angers, got Monaco next. They've got Marseille still on the card. I'm not sure many more points are going to be obtained by Angers, to be honest.
Shouldn't they be having isn't that a team that gets red carded all the time? They should be on pace for some type of like red card record.
I mean, they've just been an absolute mess. There's a very interesting article if anyone wants to read about their demise on Get Football, French football website. It's about a 15-20 minute read. It's a long article. Very interesting one. Very interesting one about their president, who is controversial, but he's leaving the club at the end of the season. But it should be 2 very straightforward victories and performances for both these teams, I think, Ashley. Now, where are we? I think that's pretty much it for the show. If anyone is around and has any more questions to ask, they're more than welcome to do that. Just looking through the list here. Oh, no, I've got one more. This is a pick of mine in Sunday for Obos again. Start against Ralphos over 3 goals at -103. In my opinion, Start are the best team in this league. I think Start will win Obos this year. They've got the best squad, the most loaded squad. Won their most recent home game 4-0. And Ralphos are an interesting team. I can never actually make head or tail of them, but I think they're going to struggle here. Start can cover the goal line on their own. But Ralphos, I've noticed they've actually gone 3 straight games to start the season, both teams scoring no. I mean, the chance of doing 4 in a row in this league is really low. I think this will be actually a both teams scoring yes game.
Hopefully, yeah,
it should really be. Because Ralphos themselves did score 4 goals against K from Oslo a couple of rounds ago. So they've got goals in them. Yet to score away from home, but it wouldn't surprise me to see them get on the score sheet here. I looked at this. I know both teams' style is really offensive. That's the thing. If you watch any of their play, look at their metrics. It screams goals, certainly at the start end of the field. And over 3 is the one that really caught my eye. And the other one, I did consider both teams scoring and over 2.5. But if it's ended like 5 or 6-0, I'd go berserk.
Yeah, why complicate it? You know me, I will be tailing it, but I'm going to look for the price of my handy dandy little 2.75 to see if I can sneak me. If it lands on 3, give me a half win. Because if it's -103, that's a great price for over 3. It shouldn't be too horrible. But,
you can get -122 on over 2.75 goals.
Yeah, there you go. That's how I'll be playing it.
So,
and for anyone interested, like Bundesliga, I was looking at those. Nothing really stands out. I'm obviously not even crazy enough to touch Bayern. I know a lot of cappers that I can't say a lot. It's not a lot of cappers I respect, but I know a handful of them that I really do respect. Expect kind of a bounce back here from Bayern, but I don't know. I'm just that kind of person. Like they're just in a very weird state right now. Don't like the coach. I think he just tries to sit on a 1-goal lead, and that just doesn't fit Bundesliga. I kind of do lean. I might play. I like these lower teams, to score. There's really the pressure's not on them. So like Schalke, playing Werder Bremen. It's rare that you get an over 2.5 in the Bundesliga for a decent price. I think it's around -120. Which isn't fantastic, but for the Bundesliga, Schalke has started scoring goals. Werder Bremen, I like that Marvin Dutch, or however you pronounce it, to score. Might sprinkle him as a scorer. So for anyone who's wanting a little Bundesliga action, that's probably one. It's not an official play, but probably one I'll sprinkle the over 2.5. I think both of those teams are going to score, and no pressure. So I kind of expect an open type of affair there.
Yeah, well, that will do for this show then. There is quite a lot of football to be played in midweek, so we may well be back, possibly by popular demand, on maybe Tuesday. Could be a day that we return, because there's a lot of midweek cards in the big European leagues. Yeah. So it may well make sense that we come out for the big fixtures, Ashley. But as always, appreciate your input, and best of luck with all your selections.
Yes, you too. Appreciate you guys for sticking with us, and let's hit some winners, and then hopefully we'll be seeing you guys soon. Appreciate it, Sonny.
And thank
Sonny's
you anyone
my buddy.
thank you anyone who has been watching live or on demand. Sonny, thank you very much for the comment there. Yeah, it is a lovely double, isn't it? Combining that with just a shot. It's mad, isn't it? Like in one moment you can just win a bet. Or a half of
because
it.
I'll fly to the game if he does judge. Be like, shoot the fucking ball, and then he'll kick it, and it's like, boom, it's done. I mean, how simple, right? You
just shoot anything.
You just need that asshole to shoot the damn ball. That's it.
Yeah, as long as Opta played ball, of course. I've seen a few moaning about
how
Opta
dare
recently.
You? We're trying to win this on a positive note, and you bring up the bane of my betting existence. Fuck Opta, hate them. Appreciate you, Ben. Yeah, Ben comes in here and he's a knowledgeable guy, so I love it. He's gonna make me be on my P's and Q's. I like it.
Yeah, Opta are a bit of a bane of everyone at the moment. There's several been arguing with them in terms of what is a shot, what was an offside. I think there was one the other yesterday I saw where someone was moaning about an offside wasn't given when it could have been a free kick. I think Opta put it down as a free kick or something. In a different way or a foul.
I don't care. They get all these emails of people threatening them and they just laugh hysterically because they don't give a shit.
If you get involved with these markets, you have to accept Opta is the Bible and Opta is the final word, you know?
Which is why I love these shots too. They're a little quirkier with those shots on target, but yeah. Appreciate all you guys though. Sonny, I'm sure we'll be chatting soon if you don't pass out here too soon, but yeah.
Yeah, you take care. And everyone have a great betting weekend. Best of luck whatever you're taking. Cash those tickets hard. But from me and Ashley, it's goodbye.
See you later.